So a good result for Harrogate Railway today.
Yeah, I mean, potential banana skin. We went to Padiham not so long ago, so we knew a lot about them, they knew a lot about us. I think when we went there, though, we were without Robbie and Adam Baker, who were obviously key players in certainly our attacking formation. So it was nice to have both of them available today, although difficult for them because of the surfaces at the moment. We're at that stage where they're not quite dry, but they're not quite wet, and it does make it difficult in the foot. So glad to come through and get 3 points.
And were you particularly pleased with any of the performances of the players that took to the pitch?
Yep, absolutely. I thought Jay Schmeichel did really well for us in the middle of the park. Good thing for Jay was he did everything we asked him to do today. I think at times we could have got a little bit closer to the middle, but they were up against the free, so did really well. And then they don't always get the protection they need from the wide players tucking in, because obviously we're trying to play with as much width as we can. Jordan Armstrong did really well for us again. He's turned out to be a great little find, and he's doing really well for us. And Malachi getting his 2 goals, I thought was great for him. Great to see him go and get, when we won the penalty, to go and get the ball and then dispatch it nicely, and then that gives him the confidence then to get his second. Steve Bromley did really well for us first half, and then sort of faded a little bit, but to be fair, the kid's not had a lot of game time, so he did well for us, and then Jesus did his bit when he come on. So across the board, although it wasn't a massively entertaining game, we took the positives from it, and the positives were the performances of those players.
And in some ways it's the result that we should have got at Padiham, because the amount of possession that we seem to have almost mirrored that particular game. This time we had the finishes and we were more solid at the back.
Yeah, I think it's always hard, Mark. I think certainly at this level of football, you don't struggle to get players in because people want to play. It's a great level of football, it's a great league to play in, where you have to look around the league and look at the teams that are involved in it. So the fact that Railway have struggled around the bottom of the league for a long time now, and we're lucky enough this season to be up mid-table. We look comfortable. It looks like we're possibly going to get through the 60-point barrier, which is a phenomenal return for us. But there is no given right to come here today, and just because Padiham are bottom of the league and we're in 10th place, that form goes out the window. It's about who wants it, and they're a difficult side to break down. They work really hard for each other, work hard for the management, and they've got a threat up front in Brett. He gets half a chance and he knows where the back of the net is. So you've got to eliminate that first and then earn the right to play yourself as a team, and we've done that today in difficult circumstances on a difficult playing surface. We'll come away, and in a couple of weeks' time we'll look back and think, we took 4 points from Padiham across 2 games this season, and I think if you'd have said that at the start of the season, we'd have took that.
And as you say, Padiham seemed to come with a very good game plan and stuck to it in the first half. They played very compactly, they defended well, and then they played the ball out with short balls. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's interesting that, having been around a couple of the leagues and one of the leagues below this, for a few years of my early management career, that you do get that. You do get a little bit of the front to back as quick as you can, but you don't get that in this league. Padiham are good enough. If you don't turn up with a game plan, if you don't turn up and take the game serious, then they'll beat you. It's as simple as that. And it's the same for all the teams down there. As we found out a couple of weeks ago, we went to New Mills and we got a late winner, but we had to earn the right. So it's quite interesting down there around the bottom of the league at the moment, and teams are working really hard, and it's just as interesting at the top end. What we've said to the lads now is what we want to do is the 60-point barrier is our next target. I do think they're capable of getting to 70 points. Whether we will or not will be dependent on obviously performances in the coming weeks, but with 4 home games, so we've really got to target them, and make sure that we give it our own at home, and if we can pick up the points in them games, then this should be a record-breaking year for us at Railway. And looking forward to next week, a very tough match against an informed team, Kendal, but also made a little bit more difficult by the fact that we're going to be missing some key players. No,
absolutely. That's football, and sometimes when your back's against the wall, sometimes you'd be surprised that the players come in and will do their bit, and we did that today. We took the players who won't be involved because of bans and suspensions. We took them off the pitch today to give us an idea of what the shape of the team will look like. But you're absolutely right. Kendal are
one of the informed teams at the moment. Got great management structure, got some great players. So, we're really going to have to make sure that we get our prep right this week. But we'll deal with that later on in the week now. I don't think there's any team in the league now that we don't know how they play or who they've got or who the dangerous players are, because that's the level of prep you need at this level of football, and every team does that, not just us. Everybody does it. So we'll reshape on Wednesday. We'll train and then we'll go again and we'll give a good account of ourselves next week against Kendal.
Is it difficult only playing one game every week or every 7 days?
It's hard because when we went on a bit of a run, sort of middle of October time to back end of January, then we were sort of playing Saturday, Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, and it's very easy to keep. Once the players are winning becomes habit. And then you get to that stage, I think it's a bit like going on an FA Cup run. It's once that cup run finishes, it's how you react to it. And this is the same, once it becomes mathematically impossible to get into any playoff position, or you lose a couple of games, you drop down, or teams catch you up, then we've got to find that spark again. And I think that the players are aware of that, and they're aware of the fact that the season's not just going to fizzle out. I think the fact that they can put their names in the record books at Railway helps, because we can keep harping on about that the next 5 points are really, really important, because that takes us above 60 points, which is a point and a half per game. And what we've got to do then, I've said before, is that there is no coincidence that your Bambers, your Farsleys, your Lancasters are up there year in, year out, because they know how to do it. And that's the next stage for us. This is new territory for the team, or for the club, sorry, not for the team, because we've got 1 or 2 players who are really experienced, but new territory for the club. And what we've got to do then is we've got to pick ourselves up at the end of this season, and the club's got to go again. And they've got to believe that they can do it, and fingers crossed that's where we'll be.
Brilliant, thank you very much.